Danny, Brett, this afternoon, your thoughts, please?
Yeah, another one for the memory bank, innit? Not so much the first half, and not so much 5 minutes into the second half, but the last 10 minutes. I think if we played for another 5 minutes, we would have won the game. At the same time, they have a shot from the edge from Walker when we've given the ball away on the edge of our box. We've just equalised, and they could have won it with that shot. So, fair play to the players. They kept the dream alive. We've just got to make sure now we definitely win our next 2 games because we've certainly made these last week or 2 weeks of the season potentially very exciting.
I mean, what a game as well. Let's just surmise the first half an hour. And they came out the traps pretty quickly, didn't they?
They did. We started poorly. Now, obviously, their camp would say they started well, but we started poorly. We looked a bit shaky. We were like allowing runners to run through. Our back line was a bit sort of too deep, then it was too high, and it just took us a bit of time, to get into the game. Sadly, by then you're behind. And then at half time the message was let's start well, and you give them a go after God knows a couple of minutes. So and deep down you're thinking it's going to take a hell of a turnaround, but when you get that second goal and then Mandy's in the box, you think come on, little deflection, please go in. It goes in. You actually feel like we're going to win the game. I thought they were on their knees a little bit after that, Bradford, but fair play to them. They started much better than us. And like I said about Wimbledon last year, we'd love to swap positions with them in the league table, but like I say, I might have dropped a place, but 3 points behind 7 with 2 to go, it's still on.
Is it when the sort of chips are down, they got that third goal, you wait for a break in place, you can get the message to the players. Is it then all cards on the table now, you just got to go for it?
Yeah, and especially when we make all the subs, it's half the team has changed that does all the prep, etc. So some of those players have to sort of think for themselves, which they're very good at, and sort of try and be the heroes. And I thought they did. I thought the subs come on were excellent. Dylan Duffy put some great balls in before we did equalise, and you just felt that Bradford were hoping for that final whistle at 3-2, like we would have done if we were 3-2 up away from home and all the crowd is against them. We'd be thinking or trying to act the same way and just come on, ref, blow the whistle. And there was a lot of time should have been added on. We actually complained saying, well, 6 minutes was nowhere near good enough, and then the injury near the end to their left wing back, he was down for at least 2-3 minutes, and they just put another minute on, so that was disappointing. But listen, we can't moan too much when we're all quite high at the minute, just of how the game finished. We always try and win football matches. The gaffer always tries to set up a team to win. Hear the results elsewhere. We all had a sneaky look on the results during the game, and Grimsby conceded last minute. You think it could be written in the stars, but I tell you what, Morecambe are relegated. I think next week they're going to come with a bit of freedom. We certainly can't start either half like that today.
The atmosphere as well, sort of built and built and built. It was fascinating this afternoon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's always really loud here. I think probably it reminded me a little bit of when we scored the winning goal against Bromley in the playoffs a few years ago here. Just the roof's going to come off, and just the noise, and suddenly the Bradford fans fell silent, and it's lovely, isn't it, because they had the upper hand for most of the game because they were leading. So for us to have the last laugh in terms of the last goal, as I said, they're third in the league, so I think they've got the last laugh at the moment. But in terms of today, we finished on a high. The gaffer's really pleased, and he said, look, well done, you've kept the dream alive for all those Spireites.
There's all those areas to pick out today, but 3 performances in particular. Jensen Metcalf's first ever professional football league goal as well. Liam Mandeville obviously getting the end of the goal there, and Michael Olakigbe as well. Yeah,
definitely. Put him on free kicks today, Jensen as well, gave him a bit of freedom to come up with something like he did second half with Ryan. So even before he scored, you thought, OK, he's on it today, he's got his shooting boots on. So hell of a goal, great work from Michael and Tom Naylor. And I think Tom had a good chance to score from a second phase of corner just before that. And so we felt like we were going to score today. It wasn't, I don't think Bradford were ever comfortable. They dealt with us at 3-1, they were the better team, of course. But after that, I think we start to make them feel and look uncomfortable. And when you start doing that, you've always got a chance of scoring and getting something from a game of football.
Was there ever that sinking feeling in your stomach to think, oh, this is just not going to be it?
Yeah, I think when they were 3-1, there were 5 or 6 minutes where there was a bit of frustration on the pitch, and they were going down, and the crowd were getting annoyed, rightly so, with the amount of time they were taking. And you're thinking, is this going to be our day? And it's still disappointing because you think, like I said earlier, your half-time message, come on boys, don't start like we did the first half. And sadly we concede a poor goal from our perspective, probably a good goal from Bradford's perspective. But it's over to the players. When they get that second goal, they probably fed off the energy of the crowd, the belief. At that point, I think Grimsby were winning, so we had to go for it. We went for it. You get the draw, and then do you take the point, or do you kick on? At one point, I thought I heard that Grimsby were losing, so a point wouldn't have been a bad result at that point. But even so, it's not in hindsight. Being 3-1 down in any game, let alone at home against someone in the top 3, it's a very good result.
Next Saturday, Morecambe, the side who are relegated now. Does that change things? I mean, they're going to obviously just try and play for a bit of pride, aren't they? Like so now, really.
Yeah, listen, I don't know how Accrington got on today. I don't know where they're on the table, but they're still pretty down the bottom, I'd imagine, regardless of their results. So, on paper, you're looking at our next two fixtures, and I'm not a betting man, but people would be clear favourites in both. But as we well know, it doesn't work like that. We got stuffed by Tranmere the other week. We were right down there. So believe me, those players and us as staff will not let this game be taken for granted at all. We'll respect Morecambe because we know that there's something massively potentially on the line for us.
Is it the message to the supporters then come out in your droves again,
yeah,
try and get us over the line again, and then just see where it takes you?
I don't think we have to promote that, this club. They just turn up. You know, there was such a good feel driving into the ground today. All the pubs were full, people wore the scarves on. It was pouring with rain. You thought, what are they going to do with that, the pouring with rain, and what are they going to do when the sun comes out, hopefully next Saturday. So no, I've got to give no message to our supporters. They were a different class today, and they were a massive part while we got something from the game.
A couple of injuries at Dobra and Banks. How are they going into the weekend?
Yeah, I think Dobbs is a closer bet than Ollie, but I would still say that we'd be very unlikely to see either of them on the team sheet on Saturday.